everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome to my channel. This is where I talk about twin flame process. This video is a moon reading. It's a new moon on the 30th of May in Gemini. And the moon's starting to come in today, so probably around this afternoon in the UK. So it normally lasts for about 2.5 days either side. That's what I've noticed. Sometimes depending on how strong it is. I've noticed it started coming in this morning for me personally, as I woke up with the whole of the right side of my body in pain, which funnily enough is the masculine side, and this is a masculine sign, Gemini, and it is a masculine moon because it's a dark moon, and it is about clearing fear, and we are dropping right down. So you might have noticed it yourselves. So what happens is we're bringing in more light, basically, with this moon. That light is going to come in at the beginning of June. So it's like we've reached the bottom, basically. So you might feel that you are completely cleared out, and probably not in a great way. So you might feel like really heavy. You might feel just really drained, at a loss, like I don't know what to do with myself kind of a feeling, exhausted. You might have physical pains coming up. You might have mental pains, headaches, stuff like that. You might feel, you might even have like some kind of repetitive, like old illness come up or something like that. Because it's like we reached the bottom, so we're completely cleared out. So it's basically like worn out. You'll feel worn out probably. And then you spend a few days feeling drained. And I mean, hopefully some people won't get this as, as strongly as I'm saying, but I just want to make it clear what it is. So you feel like this, right? So what happens when you go through this? So basically, watching this video, you're going to be feminine creator principle of the twin flame process. And this is masculine moon, right? So it's like you're going to feel what it is that the masculine is clearing. So it'll be different for everybody. But you will generally, what happens, you see, when you feel worn out, is no accident. So this feeling of feeling worn out is so that you go lie down and take it easy, so that whatever work, energetic, vibrational work needs to be done can be done. Because your physical presence is not required for that work to be done. So vibrational is vibrational. So it means you don't, there are some people I know out there that really feel it from a vibrational perspective, but I do feel they're quite far and few between. So, but you will feel it physically, you might feel it mentally, you might feel it emotionally, you might feel it vibrationally. For the vibrational work to be done, your physical, mental and emotional presence is not required. So for example, you could have something coming up that is, let's start from the beginning. So basically when we're clearing things out, it's like we empty out, and then after this we start to fill up with more light. So it's just, if you visualize a jam jar or a marmalade jar, something like that, and it's been washed out, it's empty, it's sitting on the shelf. It's like come the, probably, Wednesday afternoon, the 1st of June, it's going to start filling up. You're going to start feeling loads better, have loads of energy, feel really bright, really hopeful, really positive, filled with lots of lovely feelings of joy and happiness, and ready to get on with things. But right now, before the moon, you're going to be feeling quite drained and just feeling like taking it easy. You might even feel grumpy, because of course if your physical body's aching, it can make you feel grumpy and a bit short-tempered and that kind of stuff. Just honour it, honour the feelings. So do go and lie down, because that's what they want, right? So nothing is an accident. And when I say them, I mean Pleiadian energy. So your physical presence will not be required. So it's basically like the work is being done through you. So that's the same with everything, right? So it's like what you're clearing, so the masculine, what is masculine clearing? Fear. Masculine is fear. It's ego, it's fear. So it's worry, it's being bothered, it's being concerned, it's being caught up in the mind, It's being having repetitive thoughts. It's beating oneself up inside the head. Oh, I should have done this. I should have said that. Why didn't I do this? And that was my last chance to do that. And all that however that it comes up in the masculine, whatever, it doesn't matter what it's about what comes up is going to come through you. So some of you might feel it as your own mind attacking yourself through that mental faculty of I should have done this, or why haven't I done that, or when is this going to happen, or when am I going to move from here, or when am I going to get out of this situation. It might come up like that. Some of you might come up emotionally, so you might feel sadness and grief come up. You might just feel like emptying out by crying. And like I say, some people are physically drained. It might just feel worn out, like they've gone 10 rounds with Mike Tyson and need to lie down, or run over by a truck and gone round through 10 rounds with Mike Tyson and need to lie down. And it doesn't really matter which one it is. It's for the vibrational work of bringing in more light. So just honour it, lie down, honour your physical body with that, honour your mind. So if you've got repetitive thoughts going around, trying to beat yourself up about something that you that you forgot to take the milk in off the doorstep 10 years ago, or something, whatever it is, I'm just saying that because it's really insignificant, right? And basically whatever it is that comes up in your mind, however important it might seem, in terms of you having to tell yourself off about it, it is equally treated as insignificant as something like forgetting to bring the milk in off the doorstep 10 years ago, because fear has to be treated as though it's insignificant. Once you know what it is, it's just don't give it your focus. And whatever it is that's coming up emotionally, if you might get them all, you might get all 3 of them. If it's emotional, I feel it's going to be more mental because it's masculine moon and that's more about the mind, but you never know. Some might feel it coming up. This is not like a one-size-fits-all process. We all go through the same things, not all at the same time and in the same order. But anyway, if you get it coming up emotionally, just honour that. So if you feel like you want to cry, cry. If you feel like you need to cry, cry. You know, there's times in this process when you're meant to cry. There's nothing wrong with crying. Crying clears things. It helps you get things out of your system. And, you know, that's just honour that as well. I mean, there's been times in this process, I have to say personally, I've cried so much. I got to the point where at the end of the process, cried so much. The only thing that bothered me about crying anymore was the fact I thought I was going to burst some blood vessels in my eyes. So I got more about vanity than anything else, because I knew I was going to cry. It was more about, oh God, here we go again. I'm going to have those bloated eyes tomorrow. But anyway, so I digress. So it's going to come up in whatever way it's going to come up inside of you, but I do feel it's going to be really heavy because we are bringing in so much light over this weekend, this long weekend. Memorial Day in the US, and it's bank holiday in the public holiday in the England. I don't know about anywhere else, honestly, because those are the only 2 places I've lived. So, but you might have a holiday wherever you are. I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's get some cards out. All right, so we've got Judgment coming out, which is destiny. Oops, excuse me. 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles is separation. Ace of Pentacles, which is a brand new beginning in the physical world. 4 of Swords. This is no mind, state of no mind, resting the mind. 7 of Pentacles, fruition in the physical world. So that's right in the heart of the reading. So that means the main issue here, or the main subject, is about something coming to fruition in the physical world. 10 of Pentacles, which is also completion. 10s are about completion in the physical. This is about the physical, so it's about completion in the physical world. It's also about abundance. And just so you know as well, this is kind of where we're at. This is the heart of the matter, and this is what's incoming. So this is next. King of Swords, this is the mind of the masculine. 2 of Cups, twin flames. Ace of Cups, which is unconditional love and light, basically, so much light. Six of Cups underneath, which is about reconciliation and reunion, and also inner child feeling and harmony. Six is about harmony, so it's coming into harmony with the inner child as well. So we just get one more out on all of these, then we'll read them. Let's go. Justice. The World, which is completion, so that's coming out underneath as well. Destiny and Judgment, and there we've got Fear. Seven of Swords, which is fear. Ace of Cups, and Let Go. Six of Swords, let go. So we've got letting go of fear and bringing in more light, which is what they've already said, basically. Ace of Pentacles, clarity around a physical world and brand new beginning in the physical world. And Five of Cups, which is also about twin flame process. It's an emotional card, so it's the love that can't be seen, even though it still exists. And then we've got Four of Swords, and we've got Page of Swords coming out on that, which is message. And also lessons around the mind, and also ego. It relates to the small mind, which is the ego. Ten of Pentacles, and we've got process coming out. Hanged Man, which is reduces to 3, which is creation through the process, basically. So we've got abundance being created through the process, which is actually more light coming into the physical domain. So we're bringing more light into humanity, and what that means is we are up-leveling humanity's thinking function. So we're bringing in more higher self for the whole of humanity. Higher self is light, is love, is source, right? So when we're talking about bringing in more light, it means that we are up-leveling the whole of humanity into a more enlightened way of being and operating through the mental function. So there's a whole shift going on here for humanity. There's a whole shift to do with thought consciousness and the way that humanity thinks about things. It's related to the masculine. It's related to the masculine brain here. It's about clarity, brand new beginning in the physical world, masculine brain, about love that can't be seen. So we're bringing in more love for men in general. I mean, it's no accident that after this moon we get, well, it's either coming today or it's coming after this moon, is the result of the Depp versus Heard court case, which on a bigger theme is to do with how we treat men and how we see them, you know, in a different way, because everybody is something on the outside but a different thing on the inside. So not everybody that's a man on the outside is a man on the inside. There's a masculine and feminine energy at play in who we are, right? So it's kind of like about that. It's more clarity coming in about that as well. And justice, got that, and fruition in the physical justice. Of course, without going too much into that case, because I don't want to get everybody up in their ego, and it's a really everybody gets really challenged by things like that. So I'm going to say it without going too much into that. You know, there's a distinct reason for that happening right now as we're coming into this light, and over a holiday weekend, and the players that are playing that and what's going on with them. And there's a distinct reason for all of that. And apart from that, I'll just leave it because I don't think it's a good place to be. Right. So destiny. Fear. So what is destiny in relation to fear with twin flame process? It's clearing fear. So it's clearing away illusion of fear, because fear is all an illusion. So the physical matrix is an illusion. It's not real. So we're not really physical beings. We're energetic beings. We're not really alive. We just appear to be alive. Although it seems really like the main event, right? Like, oh, I am physical, therefore I exist. You're actually so much more than that, and always will be. And you're only here for a very short time to be this physical example of whoever you're being this time. There's a bigger purpose to you being here that you could ever see from a physical level. You can't see it from a mental level or an emotional level either. You can only ever see it from a vibrational level, but most people can't see that vibrational level because they are not intellectually or should I say mentally capable of opening up higher and into a higher evolved consciousness to see that level. But actually, the whole of humanity is on a trajectory of coming into where we are all able to function from a vibrational level predominantly. So it's like you could say, so you know this old thing like, oh, you're born and you forget that you're anything but human, and you're just functioning from this like human perspective, and it's like that's how it's always been. But twin flames are here for the purpose of bringing humanity out of that and into where everybody functions from, first of all, primarily owning the fact that they're vibrational beings. So it means in that case, that is a whole game changer for how everybody operates in terms of being alive. Because at the moment where you've got the fear in terms of being alive, the fear is about being alive. So it's like you have to be afraid to be that you're alive. You have to worry about everything. You have to be concerned and bothered about everything. You're told to think everything's wrong and that you should feel like something's wrong and that everything is wrong and you should worry about this and that and this and that, you know, you don't look the right way, you're not the right height, you're not the right size, you don't have the right job, you don't earn enough, you don't live in the right place, you know, all this like fear that we've got, like everything is always wrong when you're alive. And as I said to someone in a reading the other day, they are now even trying to perpetrate the fear of dying. So I read something, or something caught my eye the other week that was about the fear of the cost of dying. So we've got the fear of the cost of living, right, that you can't afford to live. And now there's the fear of the cost of dying, which I've never heard or seen anything so ridiculous in my life. So, but basically we're here to, clearing that fear and coming into a position where it's just like, my God, it's great to be alive, isn't it? I'm not here for that long. I might as well make the most of it. So it's like, put on your dancing shoes, right? What is the opposite to fear? It's getting out and enjoying life. That's what it is. And it doesn't matter how you choose to enjoy it. That is you're here to have an individual experience of enjoying being alive. But of course, coming into the light would obviously mean you're not going to enjoy it by murdering another person. So it's not a psychopathic enjoyment. It's a higher level of enjoyment. You know, it's like enjoying, yeah, like put on your dancing shoes, dance around the house like you're Kate Bush singing Heathcliff. Doesn't matter what it is. It's like destiny is like releasing all of fear. So letting go of fear and moving into more light. So that's quite simply that there, connecting that. Fruition, justice in the physical. We will see that coming, like I said, through the mainstream next week. That's going to be in the mainstream through this case that's going on. And then clarity, brand new beginning, physical, and masculine brain and the love that is out of sight. So really interestingly, right, talking about twin flame process in regard to these cards, right? So because it's all connected, right? So where you've got the fear that we're deleting, so we're coming into more light here, and that is about letting go of fear. And here we've got the clarity in the physical and brand new beginning coming into the physical in the masculine brain, and the love that can't be seen. There's a change around that, right? Because it's fives are about change. So this incoming light that we're bringing in is a duty. You know, we don't have a duty or responsibility to anything in the physical or connected to anybody else in the physical or emotionally or mentally or anything like that. But you come here with your work to do, your twin flame work, and your twin flame work is the bringing in of the light. So that's the vibrational work, right? So like I said at the beginning, it's like a jar that's empty and then it fills up and it comes through your physical existence. So we've got this whole like, if you look in the twin flame like understanding, there's all this argy-bargy, right, which that's an English phrase for like confusion and like arguing about what it's all about and about how you should like deal with it. The fact that you are a twin flame, you can't deal with it from a human place, from a human understanding, right? So you can't say that it's anything that is related to the ego's idea of what it's about, right? So it's, you know, you could like use words like empowerment, physical and feminine empowerment, but it really depends on how you're viewing that, because empowerment comes through vibrational self. It doesn't come through the ego. And in this process that you go through, you get taken away from your physical life. So if you looked at it from a physical perspective, you could say, well, I'm blocked. I'm not able to leave the location that I'm living in, it seems. I'm not able to get a job, or I've not got the job that I want. I've not got a relationship, and I want a relationship. I haven't got one of those. You see, and all of those things that come from the ego are the things that are equivalent to saying it's a problem to be alive. And it's not, you know, and all I've got being alive is trouble. So, and when people look at it from that point of view, like it's all about a physical thing, a physical relationship, or the fact they haven't got the right job, or the fact they're not living in the right location, they're not understanding the reason for that. And this appearing to be blocked is because you're here to do an energetic work. It's an energetic process. It's a vibrational process. So your life isn't going to change until your vibration reflects that change, right? So you are, yeah, they talk about twin flame reflection, the mirror. It's the mirror, it's matching your vibration, because you're connected with someone who's the person that you're sharing a vibration with. That person is in your vibration. They will be with you when your vibration matches the reflection of what your vibration needs to be, so they can come into your life, not the confusion of the mental aspect. So does that make sense? So it's like, because the very conundrum that humans have is, there's a problem with being alive. I'm worried, you know, life is about worry, about stress, about being unhappy. I've got to worry about this. I've got to worry about dying now, that I might not be able to afford to die. It's like, but that's not what life should be about. Life should be about happiness in every moment, because what creates your future is how you are in the now. That's the vibrational connection. That's your physical connection to your vibrational self. It's your mind, emotion, and physical connection to your vibrational self. How you connect to your vibrational self is either through unhappiness or happiness. How you create what is in your future is either through unhappiness or happiness, because it's those that go into the vibration that bring you what is in the vibration that matches those emotions. So your vibrational work as a twin flame is clearing through fear, that fear of being alive, until you are located in the juicy spot of point of attraction, which equates to happiness in every moment, despite the fact that there's nothing to be happy about. And that happens because it's the happiness in the moment that brings you the happiness in the future. And it can't come any other way. There is no leap, right, from here, from being unhappy into a happy future. It doesn't happen like that, because everybody wants to know what's in the future. I'm unhappy. I feel these things are in my future though, and I feel they're really good, but they want to go like that, right? It doesn't happen like that. How it happens is you go from happy moment to happy moment to happy moment to happy moment to happy moment, happy moment, happy moment, to the happy thing arriving in the future. Or you're never going to get there. So that's the work of twin flame, right? It's to be located in the present moment in point of attraction, which is happiness in the moment, which why it appears like your life is not changing, because until you learn to be in happiness in the moment, you can't have the happy future. That's the truth of it, right? So you need to put that first and foremost in your headlights and own that fact, because that's the truth. So, and that's what we're here to do, right? Is to operate from that fact. That it's happiness in the moment that brings you the happy future, not being unhappy, wanting to leap into the happiness of the future without understanding how you get there, you see. And in that, where was I? Okay, I lost myself for a minute. Right, so that's the clearing away of the fear, the bringing in more light, the letting go of fear, the bringing in more light, the clarity, the brand new beginning in the physical, and then the understanding of how you get to that as well. And clearing away, you're connected with someone, right, who's in your vibration, the person that you're bringing towards you, that you will have a relationship with at some point. We have to talk about this because this is what everybody wants to know about. But the only way that's coming in, because that's a happy thing, right, is by you being happy in every moment. So you can't look at the twin flame, being a twin flame, as people call it, and look at it from that human perspective of everything being wrong in where you're at. You can only look at it from an understanding of a vibrational perspective of why you're at that, because the reason is that you have to learn to be happy in every moment. And that's the justice, and that's the fruition coming here. So there's something at this moon as well. I do feel we've digressed from the moon a little bit, so I'll see if we can get back into it. Is that because it's a masculine moon, it's Gemini, it's about communication. We've got the King of Swords coming out. So how do you bring yourself together with this person that's in your vibration? Happiness in every moment. Except that's not pure law of attraction, right? So you could have a car here that you really want, and how you get that car is by happiness in every moment, and you're moving towards it like that. And eventually you'll end up with a car because you're happy in every moment and you know you want the car. Twin flames is different. You've got happiness in the moment feminine, you've got happiness in the moment masculine. So as you move forward in happiness, they move forward in happiness. You move forward, they move forward, until you end up together, right? So you create the happiness as a feminine in every moment. Once you start creating it and understanding that's how it works, you're connected through vibration. They have no option to also start to work from that point of view. You clear the fear. That's when we talk about you clearing the fear for them out of their mind. What replaces the fear? Happiness. So that is how humanity is going to, that's what we're doing for humanity. That's how you end up with your twin flame. Happiness in every moment. But you've got to understand that first, because you're here to be, as we said before, a leading edge creator of the understanding of the law of attraction. So you're not going to get this moving forward towards you from your vibration until you've learned to move that way forward through vibration. And you ain't going to get anything straight away. So that's where the even bigger challenge comes in, is because people start to work with law of attraction, and if they don't got it the next day, they're like, it doesn't work. And they start being unhappy again because they haven't seen anything arrive. Well, it doesn't work like that. It comes in small incremental changes. And because you're here to clear fear, there will still be fear coming up, because like I say, you're connected to someone else and they're going to move through. You're still going to clear their fear. So even when you're really happy in every moment, you're still going to walk downstairs in the morning and still going to be fearful things around, because of this person that you're connected to through vibration. So just to say that as well. But it's huge this moon in how we're clearing that. I didn't get cards out on here, look. Separation, rebirth, Empress. Two of Cups, which is twin flames. And a new road forward, Two of Wands. Look, coming through vibration, one's a vibration. So, and that's 0 point as well, as you walk through the masculine and feminine. And this is a mirror, that you reap the reward of what you sow, which is happiness in every moment brings happiness. There is no other equation. You can't get there through any other equation. So in terms of twin flame understanding, that's really all you need to know. Happiness comes from happiness. Love comes from love. It doesn't come through the mind. You'll see there's no swords here. It comes through clarity of mind, which is letting go of the mind, because true understanding comes from beyond the mind. It comes from higher levels. It comes from source. Source is love. Source is not mind. Source is not ego. Source is happiness, right? It's not worry, and it's not stress, and it's not fear. So you get what you reflect. So your twin flame is a reflection of you. So that doesn't mean like, everybody seems to think it means like you're going to get that first, right? But if you're happy, and if you're unhappy, and you're sad, and you're feeling lack, and you're feeling like life is not worth living, and it's not worth being here, and it's all trouble, and it's all worry, and it's all miserable, then you're going to get a reflection of that, because that is what you're here to learn, that you get if you're like that. I'm not trying to like make anyone feel like it's I know my voice is getting raised, but I think that's because of the energy of the moon. It's but that's just how it is. That's the law of attraction, and you're here in this connection with this person to understand that, and then to move forward through feeling good, through feeling good. So you could say to yourself, okay, I am a twin flame. There are lots of questions about that. I know there's loads, but I'm not gonna dwell on the questions of it, because that's not the place of happiness, right? The happiness is, yes, I can be that. Yes, I know that. I am that. Yes, I know that. And I know also that what I'm here to do in a physical body is to get on with thoroughly enjoying being alive. And that would be your answer to all the questions that would have you question it in another way, right? Because you cannot question it in another way without getting into worry and stress and some of those loopholes that keep you stuck in feeling like the answer should come from your ego, when it can't come from your ego. It can only come from happiness. So, and that's what that is there, right? Because we've got separation. And of course, the separation, as we said it before, when you're in twin flame separation and you're separated from a human person that you want to be with, you are separated from them until you find inside yourself what it is they're trying to represent in your life. So the reason that you get separated from someone, if you know them, that's your twin flame, is because first of all, you have to love yourself and love being alive. But that isn't about doing anything or achieving anything different than just loving being alive and accepting yourself and loving yourself. Because Source loves everything as it is, right? So that's what that's about. So it's happiness. Again, the answer is happiness. When you find the happiness inside yourself, you're going to have that person in your life, because that person that you're connected to will also have found happiness in themselves. So then you're both ready to come together and be happiness together, which is what it's all about. So, and reborn. So either you know them or you don't, it doesn't really matter. They are your representation of Source. Once you find Source inside yourself, they will also find Source inside themselves, because Source is vibration. You're here to do vibrational work of that, and then it's reborn into the physical world, which is the Empress, moving forward into the physical world. So, as you can see, it's not about the things that people think it's about. And it's about being filled up with light, basically, which is love and happiness. And there's so much to that. So it's like it's your level of happiness, right? So even when you've almost fully achieved full happiness in this process, which you do, and you will go in and out of the light and up and down, right? It's called the purging. And like I say, this moon's heavy, and we're going to go right down. You might feel your twin coming through. You might feel their mind coming through you. You might feel all their fears and their regrets. You might feel all their sadness. You might even feel like you are them. If you're really vibrationally attuned to energy, you might even recognize them coming through you and know that that is them coming through you. Some people will just, it'll happen and they won't even recognize that, but it's different for everybody. But that is what it is. It's the masculine coming through the feminine. It's about lost love or lack of love, because it's got it down there. It's clarity around that to start a new beginning. And you just got to let it through, right? And not beat yourself up about it. So here we have no mind, resting the mind. So you could have if you have a really tumultuous moon, this moon, over the next few days, and you've got all this stress coming through your mind, and it's all like, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that, and why didn't I do this 10 years ago, and what, I'll never do that now because I didn't, and all this kind of stuff. Rather than allow yourself to get caught up in that nonsense of beating yourself up, let go, or just go to sleep, or use whatever it is that you've got as a tool to get yourself out of your mind and not be focused on that. Right? Or even if, and the other thing, the other way to do it is to stay awake through it and to recognize that it's not you, it's them coming through. And like I say, it'll come through in whatever functional way it's going to do it. So it might come through as you recognize it's all of them and it's what they're thinking, or it might just come through your own mind and latch you onto some things of your own life that you could moan and complain about. You did the wrong thing, or it was a reason to be unhappy. It's basically what comes through this moon is going to be there's that song by Enduring the Blockheads. Well, you might not have heard of it if you're not as old as me. Reasons to be Cheerful. It's called Reasons to be Cheerful. I think it's called part 1 or something. Anyway, But this is about reasons to be miserable. So this moon is going to bring through reasons to be miserable. It's going to be like everything that you could think about, that, oh, I did this wrong, that was wrong, right? So if you're going to stay awake through it, or compos mentis through it, like in your brain through it, at least be aware that what you're doing is clearing fear. So you could stand back from it and observe it inside yourself going on, and that would be a really good way to do it, actually, because then you could see it. You can see the masculine energy moving through your brain, basically, and you could be like, aha, here I see the ego. Like, you know, people say count sheep and you watch them going before your eyes. You could just watch your ego running through your brain and what it's coming up with, and then you can learn to talk in opposition to that ego and be like, oh, shut up. I've heard that one. We know that one. We know that old complaint. And you could become your higher self in relation to that ego that's moving through you, and be like, I'm not listening to that. I'm just going to choose to be happy. I'm going to choose to be happy because I'm not here for very long. So I might as well be happy while I'm here. Otherwise, it's like going on holiday in a trailer, parking up at the holiday resort and not getting out of the trailer. You might as well not be here, right? So that's what's coming through this moon. Let's try to achieve a liberation from it. And that means awareness of it, and that means observance of it, and lessons of the mind, lower mind, ego, message. And then here we've got fruition, and we've got fruition of process. So let's get one more down on here. Masculine vibration. And we said this before. So everything that comes through you as a feminine creator of this process is about you mastering. So you master your mind, also four of swords. You master your emotions, and you master the masculine vibration, because you're connected through vibration to someone of a masculine nature. So by your very existence, you are mastering the masculine energy inside of yourself. And the bigger picture of that is that through that operation, your vibrational operation in a human form, you are learning to master the darkness inside of self, right? So you are creating an evolved being, an evolved example of a human, because once you learn to master the masculine inside of yourself, you learn to master your dark half. So once you start coming to awareness of this, right, this process, and you stop being inside your own head, first of all, beating yourself up and other people, you know, and we all, let's face it, part of being human is that we latch on to things that are not just wrong in our own lives, but wrong around us and in the world and in society and other people and what they're like. And the ego likes to either attack ourselves or attack other people for being different or wanting to be different and all this kind of stuff, or whatever, the colour of their shoes, the shape of their eyebrows, you know. You're mastering the inside of yourself what is the dark half, basically, the masculine half. And that's the well, we know what it is. It's the mind, and the mind's taking the opportunity to attack. That's what masculine energy is. It's attack energy. It is Hitler marching on Poland. It's anybody marching on anywhere, actually. It's a hostile takeover in business. It's the sociopath. It's the narcissist. It's the psychopath. It's the lack of emotion. It's the lack of empathy, right? You could say, well, it's human to have feelings, but it's not, because we're made up of dark and light. And some people don't function from the light at all. They only function from the dark. So they don't feel anything. And they function completely from ego. And that is what we are here to eradicate. That's what twin flame process is for. So that's why you go through this, of becoming witness to what is inside of you that's dark and light. Because we are creating an evolution of humanity. And that's why you're here. So when you look at your twin flame process from a physical perspective, you can't view it as anything else than that. You've got to refer back to the vibrational reason you're here. And again, you have to move away from it being about being with another person or being in relationship with another person, or you know, people, it's a romantic love connection and all this stuff, because that is so not even a fifth of what it is. And in fact, it's not that at all. It's the vibrational work of creating an evolved human being that works from the light which is why you're bringing in more light, which is why you're here to recognize the dark. And you recognize it not outside of yourself, but inside of yourself. The part of you that wants to say, this is wrong, that's wrong. It's not fun to be alive. The part of you that wants to say that person's wrong or that person's wrong. And it's not fun to be alive, right? And the more that you create that inside of yourself, the more you're changing the people that come after you. So you can't change the ones that are already here. You can't change a narcissist into not a narcissist. You can't change a sociopath into not a sociopath. They're here because the evolution of humankind has not yet eradicated that. But it will be eradicated by your ability to eradicate it inside yourself, and then it will not move forward. Okay, so it's mastery of the masculine vibration, completion here, physical domain, humanity, process, hangman, creation, number 3, reduces to a 3, creation, right? So that's what you're here for. There's more of that this moon coming in. Huge amounts of light coming in next week. Yes, it's all very, very much connected to the court case that's going on as well. So if you haven't looked at that, that's a really interesting thing to look at and see how that's playing out, and the fact that it's to do with the masculine as well, and seeing people as you know, not just what they are on the outside, but inside, how they're different and all this kind of stuff, and humanity realizing that and changing because of that, and changing our approach to people and how we deal with people, and bringing things into the light. In terms of that, you know, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that watch this channel that know about narcissism and stuff like that, but there are still hundreds and thousands and millions of people in the world that have never heard the word narcissist, that don't understand there's even such a thing. So there is huge a momentum now into bringing that kind of understanding into mainstream. And once that happens, that's huge. That's a huge shift for humanity. So, and that's what's coming in over this moon. So that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that helps some people, shed some light, although you are bringing in light. So you're going to bring in your own light. And just remember, if you get really taken out by this moon, just go with it. You know, go and have a lie down, rest, recuperate, because you'll be up and running again by the end of next week, and it'll be all hands on deck for having more fun and laughter and jumping up and down and disco dancing next week once we brought in the light. Lots of love. If anybody wants to get a reading or anything, all my details are in the box below. Lots of love. Bye.